Hi guys, it's Jacob on the one up top, and this time we're talking about Man United. Say no more. There's a lot of things going on at Man United as a club. I've got two of my friends from my local area, Charlie, who you guys have seen before, and we've got a new addition, George Butler. Both these boys, when the fans are allowed in anyway, go to Old Trafford more often than not. Diehard Man United fans, and probably never a better time to get them on than now with about 10 different things going on at United. Last week when I called you boys up and said, do you want to jump on? I think I was just going to talk about, do we keep Ollie, Bruno Fernandes. I was just going to talk about normal stuff, but this last week it's just gone mad. So I'll go to you, Charles, first. I don't know, what do you want to start off with? Ed Woodward, protest.
I just want to say, it's a great, it's great times for United. I'll tell you what, this Super League has been a blessing. It's been an absolute blessing for us. The reason being, I never thought Ed Woodward would be going anytime soon. I really didn't. So him to be gone, and now fingers crossed, it'll be the Glazers next. And this is a long time coming, So I think it's worked out really well for us. Don't get me wrong, it was a crazy few days when everyone's talking about this. To be honest with you, I will get into that though, because I've got a different opinion on that. I agree with it and I don't agree with it. But yeah, a lot happening at United. Happy that Edward's gone. And hopefully get Edwin in now, get Al van der Sar in and start rebuilding the board, But look,
Ollie's there. Supposed to be coming, is he? Edwin van der Sar, that'd be a good addition, I reckon.
They're talking about, he's at Ajax already doing it, isn't he? And I think,
100%,
just look at Ollie in the seat, Edwin in there as well, I think. Yeah, mate, I think we're on the right track. It's a blessing. It's a lot been going on, but it's been a blessing.
Yeah, what about you, George? What do you reckon? With Ed Woodward, I'd say something to you both. I saw a statement. I saw something saying that Ed Woodward was resigning from United because he didn't agree with the Super League. Is that something you believe, George?
He's only saying that to fucking cover his own arse, isn't he? Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? The geezers... the Glazers ended for us personally. I think it just caused us so much turmoil. It's lies upon lies, and I'm so glad now that he's come to light and he stood down. Listen, he can go out any way he wants to. That's fine, as long as he's out of my club. That's fantastic. And listen, Edward Worm can fucking do one. You know what I mean? But as long as the Glazers follow, I'm all good for that. All this the Super League has come about, and all the top people that are in power. It's all about money. It is all about money, and football's not about that. Football's about the fans. Football's about middle class, working class people going to the games, bringing your families, going with your friends, doing what you got to do, and watching the game. It's not about money. That's not what it's about. It's about the love for the game. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Well, listen, I don't know if we're going to get into that right now, but do you know what? It's already happened once before. How do you think Sky got all the Premiership teams we played on Sky?
Of course. But do you know what, Charles? It's also about rebranding. If you imagine if all the teams went into that Super League, stuff like that, leave Sky Sports, all that, and then you've got 150 million fans, just say, like number-wise, for Man United, yeah? And they charge £1 a game on a Saturday, so you've got to pay £1. So they make £150 million every Saturday. It's about rebranding. That's what it's about. It's all about money, bro. Trust me. That's what the big clubs are. It's ridiculous. It upsets me.
All I say is that, all right, I agree with that, but do you know what? If you look back into it, do you know why it's from 16 to 25-year-olds don't even like football nowadays? Because when we grew up, we watched it on normal television. It was for free.
When we grew up, there was no pictures. That's what.
Same one. I posted it up today. Did you read it, Jacob?
Yeah, I seen it before you posted it. It's true. It's like, I remember watching you boys beat Bayern Munich, and I remember watching it with Al, and I was
99,
13. I remember watching it on TV. We just stuck it on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Now it's like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if my kids grow up and like football, and I don't want Sky, how are they going to watch it? They're going to have to go to the pub or whatever. It's not
on that point. You've got Amazon Prime busting it out, BT Sports busting it out. My package on a weekly basis is about 120 quid.
How did Arsenal miss that? Listen, on a serious note, though, it's just basically two greedy organisations fighting each other, and what we're doing is we're just backing the one that we're so used to. But
puppets.
They're both greedy bastards. Let's be real. Let's be straight up. You know.
Listen, every owner of every club is a greedy bastard. That's how it goes, isn't it? This is saying, look, it's basically the fans need to own the clubs. That's where it needs to get to. It needs to be the fans that own the club, call the shots, not these fucking people. American people know nothing about English football. They know nothing about football. They know nothing about it.
They probably need to follow the German model. Like you see where Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
The Dortmund,
definitely.
100%.
100%, Jacob.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. I think me and George are probably agreed anyway. We know the Glazers have been sucking us dry for years, mate. Sucking us. And I just feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg now. And do you know what? One thing I've got to say, boys, Gary Neville, he needs a statue. He needs a statue outside Old Trafford.
It pains me
I'm telling you.
But even Carragher, they were in Monday Night Football and they were ripping
listen,
out of them.
All right, listen.
My
point is, don't get me wrong, right, Carragher, but I think Gary Neville's the one who got it started, mate. If you watch the whole thing, he was rallying people up saying,
he was.
Carragher's backed him. Do you know what I mean? But Gary Neville, mate, legend, fair play to him. And I love his tweets as well. There's nice glass of red. Do you know what I mean?
Gary Neville, when he started it off, I didn't even really know much of this Super League stuff was going. Like I was watching you boys against Burnley. I got back from playing football, and all I could hear was Gary Neville saying, "Oh, it's disgusting. Teams have backed it," and I was like, "What's he going on about?" Then I've gone on Sky Sports, and then Spurs are involved, Arsenal.
But Jacob, it was kept so like I didn't really know much about it, but it's kept under
no one knew
under wraps for so long.
Yeah,
it was kept under wraps for so long. I think everyone was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Because if I'm really honest with you, what was that PlayStation game when you used to pick all the best teams to play in the league together? Pro Evo, wasn't it?
Pro 4.
I remember growing up thinking, wouldn't that be sick to have a league like that? But I think now as you go older, you watch, all these young players and these other teams that are working so hard to get that top four. It makes sense. Like, why would you put all the best teams in one league?
You know what? Jamie Carragher made a good point the other night. He was saying that basically, if the Super League existed, people would put out you put like a 2-bob team out for the Carabao Cup. That's what they would do for the Premier League because they want their best team for the Super League. Yeah. So make the Premier League a mockery. Do you know what I mean? You can't have that. The Premier League is bread and butter. That's where it's at. You can't be doing that Mickey Mouse shit. Do you know what I mean? But that's not happening, bro. You know what I mean?
I think the beauty of it is dead in the water now, lads. And I think there's going to be a lot of sackings going on from all the clubs, not just United, mate.
Jacob, question for you. Do you think Daniel Levy will get the boot? Do you think that's a possibility?
No, he won't get the boot because the people that boot him are related to him.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? I think somehow, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the Lewises is his godfather.
So he's brand new, isn't he?
The only way, I was going to move on to the next question. If now you've said that, it's like, do you believe? I remember, when we're all around the same age. Do you remember when you was younger and you used to watch the news and people used to protest and it used to, a lot of situations, it would make a difference. I don't know, like for instance, Nelson Mandela, when he was being free, when they wanted him free from jail, the protest used to do something. Nowadays, you got Man United, you got Spurs, Arsenal, with your boys especially, they even broke into the training ground. Do you think that these protests make the Glazers think about moving on?
Does it fuck?
Who are you asking? You asking me or George?
I'll go to you first, Charlie, and then George can answer as well.
I personally think they are shitting themselves. I really believe the Glazers are sitting there because.
For what reason, though?
I'll tell you why. Because it's not just Man United; they're looking at the whole league, and they've all agreed to this league between themselves. And I guarantee you, none of them thought this would have happened. They would have thought, no, there's no way. If they would have looked at a list of teams and thought, they're all involved. Oh, this is definitely going through. So the power of the people have proven. Have spoken, but also for Ed Woodward to, say that he's leaving us. The Glazers are shaking in their boots now because they know that the fans hate him anyway. They've hated him before, and now I think this is just kind of.
Listen, Charles, it must have rustled a few feathers for him to step down. Edward would have never stepped down. All that bullshit about he's been there, he's served his time, bullshit. The reason he's there is in hot water. And the reason he needs to get out of that hot water is to remove himself from the situation. Something, we never know the reason, but there's something behind that. There's more to this story. That's why he's removed himself from
George,
it. I don't believe he was against the Super League. I just think it's been found out and he's embarrassed and there's more to it and he's moved on. I think that's
But George, do you know what you got to remember is, mate, Edward was just a puppet for him. So, they've got to get, they're not going to step down themselves.
A puppet gets paid a fucking lot of money, though, Charles.
All right, 2 secs, listen. They've got to George loves it, then he flat. But listen, what I was going to say was, they've got to get rid of the puppet first. And once the puppet's gone, they're going to sit back and see, this is what kind of reaction we get now. Like, because they're probably expecting that they might get a pat on the back and say, oh, well done, you got Woodward out. But the problem is, everyone knows the root of the problem is them.
The Glazers,
so I think the United the fans are kind of showing it. And I really do believe they're going to step down. I really do. And I'll tell you what I believe also. I think he'll step down and some big Arab family are coming and say what we'll say. No, I really do. Because I think it'll be a competition with City and United. I think that's the era we live in now, mate.
But the thing is, listen, you're right. You're probably bang on. But do you really want them in their club again? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. The thing is, you want someone who really loves your club to come into your club, but it's very unlikely that someone with that amount of money is going to be able to do that. So whoever comes into that club as an owner, they're going to be really have your.
Well, listen, if go on. Sorry, mate.
I was going to say with football, it's like. Of course, you want a fan to come in, but it's just all business orientated now.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back to Ed Woodward, I agree with both of you that he's a puppet. So when I speak to not just yourselves, other Man United fans, everybody blames Ed Woodward for Man United doing so great since Fergie. But in my mind, I say to them, Fergie was a manager and he run the club from top to bottom.
Yeah,
100%.
You can't say the signings are all his. And when you look at it commercially, he's took United to a next level. So I think because he's a puppet, everybody's going Woodward, and then it takes them about 20 minutes to think, hold up, it's not really him, it's the Glazers. You know, the Glazers need to come out of that. And will they do it? I don't think many of them will. Like Stan Kroenke ain't going to do it. Levy ain't going to do it. They're all going to stand firm. And I don't think it's closed book on the Super League. What it is, I think there'll just be another thing that will come out and it will be not the Super League.
But Jacob, are they trying to change the Champions League format at the moment?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. So look, do you know what makes me laugh? If you look at what's going on, it's like UEFA are worried that, oh my God, this new league might be the next best thing. We're trying to do this with the Champions. It's like I said, it's two organisations that are filthy rich fighting each other, trying to turn the fans against each other.
Nobody's innocent, mate.
100%, mate. 100%. But going back to what you were saying regarding what was your last question, Jacob? Regarding Ed.
Can we refer to him as Edward Worm?
The Woodworm.
That's what we refer to him.
The Ed Woodworm.
Yeah, Woodworm.
Yeah, but
you ain't over it. It's his fault, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get him out.
Do you know what though, George? How mad is it? Did you ever think that he'd go that sooner the way he did? I think it's a blessing.
But this is what I'm saying, mate. There's so much more to it for him to stand, because he was in such a good position, getting paid all that top dollar, literally having a free ride. So for him to stand down from that job, there's more to that story.
Do you know what it boils down to? I think it's like Jacob said. Do you know what it is? But I don't think it'll ever happen. You want someone to own your club that actually loves football. The Glazers didn't even like football. But Glazers didn't even like football. They didn't even like the sport. It was just, right, how much money can we make out of that? And that's it. We're investing. Squeeze. That's all it was, I think.
Which owner was it that came out the other day? There was a thing that had come out and they said...
Liverpool owner.
No, it was Liverpool's. It took him 2 years to understand the offside rule.
Oh, was it really?
Well, how many games he's gone through? When they're going offside, you're looking around. You don't know what's happening there. It's like, mate, like what?
It's a joke.
Yeah.
He's not bothered about offside. He's not bothered about VAR. He's waking up in the morning and speaking to his financial advisors and saying, "How much did we make this much of the fans? 4 million." Until you get some
rich English guys going over to America buying out NFL and basketball teams, they're not going to understand it, mate. Because it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Americans don't know football and don't love football, but it's different over here.
Their football is NFL. That's their football.
No, but listen. All right, George, 2 seconds. What I'm trying to say is soccer, whatever it is to them, you might like it. Don't get me wrong. They've created a league over there. They've got Beckhams and all the other doing their thing. But is born and bred, and it's through your blood over here. It's different. Like,
I agree.
You can't just turn up and be like, oh well, hi, we like soccer, we want to be involved in it. You know what I mean? It just don't work like that.
You know what it is, boys? I'll tell you what I was saying to my cousin the other day. It's like a lot of sport in America. There's no jeopardy towards it. So the reason why we're so passionate about football is like you're Man United fans. I know so many of my friends that are Man United fans, and when we were little, Man United were always winning everything, and Tottenham were always flopping. And that's because it meant something to win, and it meant something to lose. In America, you could have a league of like 8 teams. You finish 8th, but somehow you can make a playoff.
Yeah.
That don't work. You know what I mean? It's just that's why. So if they had their way with the Super League, you'd have like the top 12 teams. The smallest team in there were probably Spurs, but then Spurs would finish 12th. You don't get relegated. It don't really matter if you lose, and you still get, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes. It don't matter if
do you know what?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, we all need to take a leaf at the German teams, mate. They didn't even get involved in it. They didn't even have a sniff at it. They just went, no, mate, bang, see you later. And look, do you know what it shows me? Look how sneaky all the other teams have been. No one knew this was going on. It was just, oh, by the way, we've got a new league happening. And then no, it's true. Let's be real. The Germans didn't even have a fair. I think we need to kind of definitely take a leaf out of their book, mate.
Listen,
they've got it right.
Motors in football, Germans, you got to give it to them,
yeah, mate. Yeah, defo, brother. Defo.
They're always efficient, man. Like, look at Bayern Munich and the teams they've had over the years. I can't remember Bayern Munich spending any more than 50 million.
Yeah, you're right.
I think they're
top team.
They bought Lucas Hernandez for 80 million, I think 2 seasons ago. But I can't tell you another. Like, look, they got players that level down.
How much did they pay for Sane from City? How much did they pay for him recently? That was that last season ago.
That's a good point. I think that might be about 50, 60 million, to be fair.
But they wanted Sane when he was at. But they wanted Sane when he was at Schalke, didn't they? And City coming to him anyway. So
great player. Pep didn't like him for a reason. Got rid of him. But I've got another question. I've got another question for you boys now. So obviously thinking about Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, and I'm struggling with that partnership. I think Victor Lindelof for me, the Iceman, is a little bit weak for me. And I'm thinking, so new season's coming up. We bring a new centre half in. We bring in, you know what I mean? We get in just Harry Maguire and a bit of pace. I mean, if by his fit, let's be honest, he's unreal. Even he's partial to a yellow card or red card coming out a bit mental.
Injury prone.
Can't keep him fit. So for me, keep Maguire, but he needs a bit of pace in it, doesn't he? He needs to get rid of Lindelof, get a pacey centre forward or centre half in there. I mean, what do you reckon?
I personally think Man United being second and doing what we do. Oh, is everyone there? All right. Man United being second, we're gonna strengthen the squad wherever happens. And I think we'll probably strengthen all over again. I think it'll be centre back, probably another midfielder. Might even get.
What do you reckon on the talks with Declan Rice, Charles? Do you reckon he's worth bringing in? Do you think he's the man for the job?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think he's better than McTominay?
I think you know.
No.
That's one thing I'll say about United. Your centre you actually haven't got a defensive midfielder. You got Scott McTominay that can do it. You got Fred that has got loads of energy, and I'll probably call him a box-to-box midfielder. But you ain't actually got anybody that would just
got Matic, but Matic is old as well.
Matic is done.
Yeah, Matic is done. Yeah.
See the Fred situation, right? See, Fred's been with us for a little bit of time now. Yeah, this season has been his best season by far. Unbelievable, yeah. But the game against Leicester, the man was absolutely awful. I mean, like the FA Cup we lost 3-1. Absolutely awful. Why he kicked him on the pitch? I mean, like the things he was doing, he must have given the ball away about 20 times. So frustrated. He frustrates the life out of him. He's got the power of the action. He's there. I mean, his shooting's unbelievable. I think he scored 1 goal since he's been at the club. I mean, for a fucking box-to-box midfielder, as you called him, 1 goal.
I think Ollie's been trying to make him shoot more. I think if you watch his last few games, he does start taking shots from all over the gaff, doesn't he, nowadays?
Would you start him, Charles? Do you start Fred? Your first 11?
I think we have to at the moment. I'll tell you who I feel sorry for. It's Donny, mate. I think Donny, mate. I feel so sorry.
The thing is, though, I don't know. I'm a little bit.
So I'll ask you a question.
I'm unsure.
Right? which kind of leads on to my next question. So I was going to say to you boys, you know, Ollie's progressively done well. Looks like he's your favourite to win the Europa League. I think you boys should win that.
I think we win that. Yeah.
What do you think of Ollie in general? What do you see for the plans going forward? And I was just about to say, how do you feel he's treated certain players? Because as much as he's rejuvenated Luke Shaw, he's got the best out of Cavani's always been world class anyway. There's certain players I look at and think, has Ollie got the best out of him? Because Rashford doesn't look as good as he was, and then you got Donny van der Beek, who half the time I forget he don't even plays for you. So
yeah, but the reason Rashford don't look great is because we play him all the time.
He's hardly even fit. He's not fit. He's not fit.
But listen, there is no other better person to be in charge of Man United than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the moment. I'm telling you that now.
Sure?
Yeah, 100%. Well, 1,000,000%. Well, look what he's done. I'll tell you what it is, bro. Look, you got to remember the geezer knows the club inside out. We've given him time. Look, and I know it sounds crazy, but did you ever think we'd be second after? Bearing in mind, Liverpool were reigning champions last season, mate. And I remember people was talking about how United would be lucky to get top 4, even top 6. We're sitting second. And this is from a manager that ain't really, well, he hasn't. He's not managed a big team at all, but he knows the club inside out. And I think he's put us back on. I'll tell you what we kept on doing. We tried getting really good managers, buying the best players. We tried to, let's get just our homegrown talent, use that. No, man, you need to have someone that knows it inside out. And I reckon Ollie's only going to get better and better and better. And I don't think, I think Jacob is right, though. His man management skills might not be the greatest, but they're only going to get better with time. I think the players do love him. I think the players love him. I really do. I
disagree a little bit. I think, for me personally, I think his man management is good. I think the way he looks your situation, I think what he's got out of Luke Shaw this season has been unbelievable. I think the Pogba situation, Harry's brought him on. There's no pressure on Pogba now. He's got a lot out of him. For me, what I don't get, I mean, the game we're getting, going back to the game against Leicester, we was playing internationals the week after. He played a weaker team. This is the cup. Yeah, cup game. We've got an opportunity to win a trophy to move forward. He plays a weaker team. And then he makes substitution in the last 10 minutes of the game. And I'm like,
it's game plan, isn't it? His game plan's questionable.
But what I'm saying is, you've got 2 weeks of internationals. It doesn't like you could have played your full strength team. Why haven't you done that? And then he makes changes late on in the game, and I'm like, why are you doing that? I don't understand that. For me, I think he gets it wrong sometimes, and that's what frustrates me as a fan. I'm like, you need to get it right from the beginning. Don't take a genius to work out. It's internationals. Play your best team. We got to lose nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I'll make you right.
Like if I'm watching United as a neutral, there's a lot of times where I don't know. You
do question.
There is times. The thing is, though, every manager's got their ups and downs. For instance, you're saying the Leicester game, but against Tottenham when you beat us 3-1, I think Ollie managed the game perfectly there. Like he got to the point where he did everything on point. Like just when I'm watching it as a Spurs fan, I'm thinking, I wonder if Ollie's going to do that. And then literally 2 minutes later, he'd come on and I was like, the game. And then it just got to the point where he dragged Pogba out to the left.
I remember.
He smacked it for me. He smacked that game.
Did.
You know, Ollie won that game. So
don't you boys think that? Don't you boys think every manager has a what the fuck moment? Like, every manager goes, what the fuck are you doing?
Everybody does it, mate. Everybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
The thing is, you never know 100% what you're going to get out of that player at the day. You never know if he's turned up, if he's had a row with his missus, or if he's left his dog in the garden. You don't know what's going to turn up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You only got to work. Listen, everyone's human. That's what people forget. They're not machines. They're human beings.
Yeah, but listen, going back to what you just said. But George, well, that's what I'm trying to say. Because we can't crucify the fella. Because look, he's still learning on the job, but he's doing a great job at it. So I think. I'll be honest with you. I think we'd be taking a step backwards by thinking. He's the right man for us. I never used to think. I used to think.
Let's be honest. Who is out there really to replace him? We've talked about Pochettino. Obviously, he's at PSG now, tied down. There's not really anyone out there that we've got any sort of avenues to go down to get anyone into our club. So, yeah, let's stick with Ollie. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you're right. Second, we need we need Europa League. For me, we need the Europa League, and that'll be a good achievement for us this season. I'll take that. Second in the league, Europa League. get the Champions League back next year, and then we're good to go. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
I think that's what
I'll tell
happened.
you what, mate. Yeah, go on,
I think
Jacob.
that's what happened. You know, for me, if I'm going to be neutral, I generally think a year and a half ago, I remember laughing, thinking, I can't believe as a club the size of Man United have got Ollie. Remember, all used to have all the jokes of the PE teacher and all that. But then now you've given him the time. It's good to see, because it's like, you know, everybody forgets that it's just a job. So everybody has been in a job where you're stressed, you're not getting it, but then your managers give you a little bit of time and a little bit of a pat on the back and say, don't worry about it, you got it. Eventually, you look back and think, cool, because they gave me an extension on my probation, or they gave me another year and said, don't worry about it, you ended up smashing the job. So I think that's what they've done with Ollie. And now
Jake, listen to this, mate. If Ollie gets us second, wins Europa, and I know this is a long
we're
shot.
having a party stuff.
Well, listen. I know this. I'll tell you what. This is a long shot. Just say City lose the next 3 games.
Oh, I fucking love
the United people. No, listen to me. Listen to me. People will be calling him a god. They'd be calling him a god. So listen. Let me just finish off. All right, George. 2 seconds, mate. What I'm trying to say is, if we get second and do Europa, I think that is an amazing achievement for Ole Gunnar's whole season.
A+ that is
amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's what I say. Looking at him as a manager, people can say he's a PE teacher. People can say, "Oh, he does this, that." But that is a great achievement to do that with that much pressure on you as well, mate. Because I'll tell you,
United job.
It's a pressure pot. It's a pressure pot, bro. So
let's be honest. The Europa League situation, was it Roma next year? Realistically, we should beat them. Do you know what I mean? Like, Europa League.
We're going to win the Europa League. Listen, we'll win the Europa League.
It's ours to lose, personally. It's ours to lose.
I'll tell you,
if you beat Roma, I'd like to think that whether it's Villarreal or Arsenal, I think you beat them in the final.
Yeah, that's it.
Hardest game is playing Roma. Roma would be your hardest game. So if you get through that, you probably win it.
You say that, but us silly sausages. Because how many draws we had this season? How many draws have we had this year? Like, unbelievable amount of draws, yeah. That'd be a lot. We get to do the hard work, get to the final, and lose to fucking Arsenal. Do you know what I mean?
If you think like that,
it'll happen, mate.
No. Yeah, exactly. But I think personally, listen, Arsenal did. I go like when they played that, they whooped us in the league. Arsenal did. I remember watching that game and thinking, "What the fuck? How have they done that to us?"
Embarrassing.
But I just personally think, mate, we've been in a final, we've lost finals in the past, and I just feel like it's written for us, mate. I think we'll get Europa. We'll do Europa. We'll win Europa.
I hope so.
100%.
100%. I like Europa.
Yeah. Listen, anyway, boys, just a quick one. Let's get into the.
Boys, we've got about 2 minutes.
Oh, right. See, we didn't even talk about Cavani, Telles, all the news that's
what we'll
coming
do,
out.
don't worry about it, guys. What we'll do is, we've got to wrap it up. But what we'll do is, we've got plenty of time. We'll always talk about your club. If you want to jump on here at any given time, and there's always going to be things developing at Man United. You've got, like you said, you've got your Europa League. You got whether Ollie's going to win the league. Do you know what I mean? So we'll have a chat, boys.
Yeah.
But, thanks for coming on and having a good chat. And like I said, like, share, subscribe to the page. Share the love. We're always on here having a laugh, but also being serious about football. But before you go, boys, we've got a couple more minutes. You got Leeds United away from what I remember on Sunday.
Yep, that's right.
What predictions? What do you reckon?
Tough game. I want to say tough game.
You've got a minute each, boys.
United to get the win, but I think it'll be a tough game. I've got to give it to Leeds. I like them. I like watching them play. I think they're just so attack. They just don't care. They just want to attack. But then again, I think when you attack, you leave yourself open for the counter attack, and that's what we love playing. So I think we'll definitely get the win, but a tough game.
And over to you, George.
Listen, quality club at the minute are doing really well. Absolutely smashed it. Got some good players there. But we're smashing them all day long, 3-1. No problem.
All day long, boy.
All day long. Listen, there's no way we can lose to Leeds. It ain't happening, bro. 3-1 easy work.
Could be a good game, but we'll catch up anyway. We're always talking on the WhatsApp group and that. So have yourself a good weekend, boys.
Yeah, been a pleasure.
Not so many beers.
Sweet. Well, Jake, when you're down, make sure you give us a shout. We'll go for a couple of beers ourselves, my brother.
We're done in a couple of weeks. We'll sort it.
Sweet, my bro.
Hopefully we're Carabao Cup champions.
Oh, leave off. You got no chance, brother. You know that.
No.
So no, you never know. I've got a feeling, mate. My boys might just take that. Actually, I don't know, man. I know Leicester do look good, but I think, you never know. That's a cup final for you, right? You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly that. It's yours to lose. Take care.
Exactly.
Take care of yourselves, man.
Sweet, Jacob. Love, mate.
In
In a bit, boys. Ta-ra.
In a bit. Bye-bye.